Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like something was working against you, even when no one said it out loud? Like invisible forces of jealousy, betrayal, or hidden plots were shaping circumstances in the background. These are the secret attacks of life, the ones that strike quietly, in whispers, in darkness, in places you cannot see. And here is the truth you need to hold on to. You are not defenseless. There is a power, a covering, that not only protects you from the visible battles, but also destroys the hidden ones. And if you stay with me through this message, you will understand how this psalm can become your shield against every secret attack sent to break you. The power of hidden protection is one of the most comforting truths you can hold on to in this life. There are forces working against you that you may never see with your physical eyes. Attacks are not always loud or obvious. They are often hidden in silence, whispered in the dark, carried out in subtle actions and unseen plots. And yet, while you may not always see the battle, there is a divine shield that is already covering you, destroying what was designed to destroy you, canceling what was meant to cancel you, and turning away what was meant to harm you. This protection does not wait until you are aware of the attack. It works before you even realize the danger is near. Think about how often in life you sense that something was supposed to go wrong, yet it never did. That job you were about to lose suddenly turned into a promotion. That relationship you thought would end in betrayal collapsed because it could hurt you deeply. That accident you narrowly escaped left you unharmed, and you walked away without understanding how. These are not coincidences. They are evidence of hidden protection working in your favor. While you sleep, while you walk, while you live unaware of the hidden threats around you, there is a covering standing guard over your life. Hidden attacks come in many forms. Sometimes they are the quiet jealousies of people you thought were friends. Sometimes they are words spoken in secret meant to damage your name. Sometimes they are circumstances designed to make you stumble or lose heart. They are rarely visible, and often you discover them too late, after the damage has already been done. But hidden protection means you're preserved from things you didn't even know were against you. The battles that never reached you are as real as the ones you fought openly, and the victories you didn't see are just as powerful as the ones you celebrated. The power of hidden protection also brings peace. Imagine how heavy life would feel if you were aware of every single plot, every whisper, every scheme designed to harm you. If all of it was exposed at once, the weight would crush you. But hidden protection is mercy. It handles the unseen so that you can live with confidence and peace, knowing you are surrounded by a defense greater than anything formed against you. You don't have to live paranoid. You don't have to exhaust yourself trying to control every detail of life. You only have to trust that the covering over you is stronger than the enemy in the shadows. This protection is also a reminder that you are not alone. The greatest fear in the face of secret attacks is the fear of isolation, the idea that no one sees, no one knows, and no one cares. But hidden protection proves that you are never alone, even when you feel unseen. Just because your eyes cannot detect the shield does not mean it is not there. In fact, the very reason you are still standing, still breathing, still moving forward is because that protection has never left your side. Another powerful truth is that hidden protection does not just block attacks. It can redirect them. What was meant to harm you can be turned for your good. What was designed to push you down can be transformed into the very thing that lifts you up. Every secret plan can be dismantled and reshaped into a testimony. And this happens not because of your strength or awareness, but because of the covering that fights battles you were never meant to fight. So live with courage, walk with confidence. Understand that even now, while unseen forces may be plotting against your peace, your progress, and your purpose, hidden protection is already at work. You don't have to see it to believe it. You don't have to feel it to know it is real. The evidence is in the fact that you are still here, still rising, still walking toward destiny, despite everything that should have stopped you. Hidden protection has been your shield, and it will continue to be your shield. And because of it, no secret attack will ever succeed against you. Light has a way of changing everything it touches. Where there is light, darkness cannot remain, no matter how long it has been hiding. Darkness may conceal, it may cover, it may create fear by hiding what is real, but the moment light shines, truth is revealed and lies are dismantled. The words of the psalm operate as this very light. They expose what is hidden, they bring clarity to what has been disguised, and they dismantle every scheme designed in secret to harm you. This is not just poetic imagery, it is a spiritual reality. Darkness represents the hidden plots, the secret attacks, the whispered words behind your back, the manipulations that are crafted out of sight. But light represents truth, clarity, and power that cannot be overcome. When the psalm speaks, it brings that light into your situation. There are times in life when you know something is not right, but you cannot put your finger on it. People smile in your face, but their hearts are not with you. Opportunities are presented, but something within you feels unsettled. Circumstances unfold in ways that look harmless, but are actually harmful. These are the works of darkness, moving silently in the shadows, hoping to remain hidden until it is too late. But the words of the psalm have a piercing quality. They go into the hidden places, they search out the schemes, and they uncover what would have remained invisible to you. What others plan in secret cannot survive under the brightness of divine truth. Light not only reveals but also destroys. Darkness has no defense against it. The psalm does not simply uncover plots, it dismantles them. Words spoken in truth carry power to unravel lies and to shatter deceptions. When the psalm declares protection, the snare set for you is broken. When the psalm declares victory, the trap meant to catch you collapses on itself. Light does not argue with darkness, it eliminates it. That is why this psalm is more than a set of comforting words. It is a weapon. It fights for you by shining into the unseen and destroying what was meant to harm you before it ever reaches you. Light also brings peace to the heart. Darkness thrives on fear because fear grows strongest where there is uncertainty. When you don't know what is happening around you, when you feel as if unseen forces are moving against you, it is easy to feel powerless. But the psalm speaks light into those shadows. It reminds you that no matter how many schemes are formed in secret, they cannot survive the exposure of divine truth. And that knowledge replaces fear with courage, confusion with clarity, anxiety with peace. Consider how a room that has been dark for hours transforms the moment the sun rises. Suddenly, you see clearly what was hidden. You realize there was nothing to fear in the shadows, and even if there was, it can no longer hide. That is the effect of the psalm. It illuminates your life so that hidden dangers are revealed and powerless, leaving you to walk forward without the burden of dread. The exposing power of light also teaches discernment. You begin to see patterns, motives, and truths that were once blurred by shadows. You learn to recognize the difference between genuine support and hidden envy, between open doors that are safe and those that are traps. The psalm doesn't just protect you in the moment. It trains your spirit to walk in light so that you can avoid the snares of darkness altogether. Most importantly, light assures victory. Every hidden scheme formed in secret is temporary. Darkness cannot last forever, and no secret attack can outlast the power of truth. The storm ensures that lies are revealed, plots collapse, and those who walk in light are never left in defeat. You may not always know what was planned against you, but you will know this light will always win. So hold on to the storm as your lamp and your shield. Let it speak over you until every shadow breaks, every hidden plan is revealed, and every secret attack loses its power. Light exposes darkness, and once exposed, it cannot survive. You are covered, you are seen, and no scheme in secret can overcome the power of truth that surrounds you. Peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of assurance. True peace does not come when life is quiet and every circumstance appears favorable. It comes when you know, deep in your soul, that you are protected even in the midst of storms, plots, and unseen battles. There is a rest that rises when you realize no weapon formed in the shadows can prosper against you. The attacks may be real, the whispers may be present, the traps may be carefully laid, but they are powerless to succeed against the covering that surrounds you. This is the peace that the psalm speaks into your heart, a peace that allows you to lie down at night without fear and to rise in the morning with courage. No matter what plots are forming behind closed doors, plots are often hidden. They work quietly, weaving themselves in secret conversations, silent envy, or manipulative actions designed to take you by surprise. They are meant to weaken you by catching you unprepared. But peace in the midst of these plots means you do not need to live in paranoia or constant suspicion. You are not asked to spend your life chasing shadows or exposing every hidden plan. Instead, you are invited to rest in the truth that no matter how carefully an enemy plots, the protection over your life dismantles their efforts before they can touch you. This peace is not ignorance, it is confidence. It is not about denying that attacks exist, but about knowing that they cannot prosper. Think of a soldier who enters battle fully armed and shielded. He does not deny that arrows are flying in the air. He simply knows that his shield is greater than the arrows. In the same way, peace in the midst of plots comes from knowing that the covering over you is stronger than any weapon formed against you. The schemes may form, but they will not succeed. The arrows may fly, but they will fall short. The traps may be set, but you will walk safely past them. That knowledge is the foundation of rest. When peace settles in your heart, you are no longer a prisoner to fear. Fear thrives on uncertainty, and plots thrive on secrecy. But when you know that no scheme has the power to prosper, secrecy loses its grip. You no longer waste energy wondering who is against you or what is being said in the dark. Instead, you live with focus, pouring your time and energy into purpose, growth, and faith. This is the strategy of peace. It frees you from distraction and anchors you in destiny. Peace in the midst of plots also teaches you resilience. It reminds you that attacks are not signs of weakness, but confirmations of purpose. No one plots against what has no value. The very fact that you are being targeted, envied, or whispered about evidence that you carry something worth opposing. But peace takes that truth and strengthens you, whispering back, yes, the plots exist, but so does your protection. Yes, the weapons are formed, but they cannot prosper. Suddenly, what was once intimidating becomes a reminder that you are chosen, covered, and destined for more. This kind of peace is also contagious. People around you may see the pressures you face, the plots that surface, the obstacles that rise against you. But when they see that you are unshaken, that you continue to walk with calm assurance, they are drawn to the source of your strength. Your peace becomes a testimony. It tells the world that your life is not governed by fear of enemies, but by trusting a greater protection. That testimony itself becomes a weapon, disarming the power of intimidation and silencing the schemes that rely on your fear. Peace in the midst of plots is a declaration of faith. It is saying, I know that weapons are being formed, but I also know they will not prosper. I know there are schemes in the shadows, but I also know that light always exposes darkness. I know that whispers exist, but I also know that truth will silence every false word. This is the posture of victory, not restless striving, not anxious watching, but confident resting. So walk with peace, sleep with peace, work with peace, let the plots form and let the weapons be designed, because they are destined to fail. Your life is covered by a shield greater than any scheme. No weapon formed in the shadows can prosper against you, and with that knowledge, you can rest in the assurance that you are protected, strengthened, and victorious even in the midst of unseen plots. There are moments in life when the weight of everything feels almost unbearable. Responsibilities pile up, challenges seem to multiply, and opposition appears stronger than your ability to endure. In those moments, weariness can take hold, not only in the body but deep within the soul. Fatigue doesn't always come from physical labor. Often it comes from fighting invisible battles, facing constant resistance, or carrying burdens that no one else can see. It is in these times that this psalm speaks with power, restoring courage when life feels overwhelming and enemies seem too strong. The words are not just poetry, they are lifelines. They remind you that strength does not come only from within yourself, it comes from a higher source that renews you when your own strength is gone. Weariness has a way of distorting perspective. When you are tired, challenges look bigger than they are, enemies appear stronger than they truly are, and hope seems farther away than it actually is. Fatigue whispers lies that tell you quitting is easier than pressing forward, that surrender is safer than continuing the fight. Yet, the psalm breaks into that exhaustion with reassurance you are not alone and you are not as weak as you feel. It declares that no matter how heavy the battle seems, there is a strength greater than yours available to lift you up and carry you through. Think of the imagery of a weary traveler. After walking for days, burdened by weight and weakened by the journey, he feels he cannot take another step. Just as he is about to collapse, a fresh stream of water appears, and he drinks deeply, reviving his body and spirit. That is what this psalm does for the weary. It pours fresh courage into your heart when you feel empty. It revives hope when it seems lost. It whispers life back into your weary spirit and strengthens you to take the next step when you thought you had none left. Enemies often appear strongest when you are weakest. When you are weary, their words cut deeper, their actions feel heavier, and their threats seem more intimidating. But this psalm reminds you that the strength of our enemies is an illusion compared to the strength of the covering that surrounds you. Just because they appear strong does not mean they will prevail. Just because they rise against you does not mean they will succeed. Weariness may cloud your judgment, but truth clears the fog. You are still protected, you are still supported, and you are still stronger than the opposition because of the shield that fights on your behalf. The psalm restores courage by lifting your focus. Instead of staring at the size of the mountain, it helps you remember the one who gives you the power to climb it. Instead of obsessing over the sharpness of the arrows, it reminds you that the shield already stands between you and every weapon. Instead of allowing you to sink into despair, it calls you to stand up again, to believe again. Courage is not the absence of fear or fatigue. It is the decision to move forward despite them. And the words of this psalm breathe that decision into your heart. strengthening your resolve when your body and soul are tempted to collapse. Sometimes strength is not about winning in a dramatic way. Sometimes strength is simply the ability to endure one more day. And that is enough. The psalm teaches you that it is not weakness to feel tired. It is human. The miracle is that when your strength fails, renewal is always available. You are not abandoned to your fatigue. The courage to rise, to keep going, to fight back against despair is restored again and again through the truth declared over you. So, if you feel weary, if life seems too heavy, if enemies look too strong, remember that this psalm is your well of strength. Drink from it. Let its words echo in your spirit until courage rises again. What was overwhelming yesterday will lose its power today. What seemed too strong will collapse under the weight of divine protection. You may be weary, but you are not defeated. Courage is being restored, strength is being renewed, and your story is not ending in exhaustion, but in victory. Victory without retaliation is one of the deepest demonstrations of true strength. Human instinct tells us that when we are attacked, we must fight back with equal force, that to prove our power, we must respond with anger, words, or even revenge. But this psalm teaches a higher way, a way of rest, confidence, and assurance. It reminds you that you do not need to fight in the flesh, because the words of truth fight on your behalf. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. To retaliate in the flesh is to lower yourself to the level of your enemies, but to let truth and light do the fighting is to rise above and allow victory to come without losing your peace, dignity, or integrity. The truth is that retaliation often traps you. When you strike back in anger, you become entangled in the same bitterness and chaos that your enemies live in. Instead of moving forward, you waste your energy proving yourself to people who will never accept you, defending yourself against accusations that were designed to distract you, or trying to win battles that were never yours to fight in the first place. Retaliation feels satisfying in the moment, but it drains you in the long run. It breeds cycles of conflict that never end. Victory without retaliation, however, breaks that cycle. It allows you to rise above the noise and stand firm, knowing that truth has a voice louder than lies and light has a power greater than darkness. The psalm becomes your weapon. It is not a sword of flesh, but a sword of spirit. When you declare the words of truth over your life, you are not just reciting poetry, you are releasing power. Lies cannot survive under truth. Schemes cannot prosper against divine covering. Attacks cannot prevail when you are shielded by something greater than human effort. The psalm fights for you in ways your words and actions never could. While you rest, the truth is dismantling lies. While you keep your peace, the light is exposing darkness. While you hold your composure, the shield is breaking every weapon formed against you. Victory without retaliation also protects your character. Anyone can react in anger. It takes true strength to remain calm when falsely accused, betrayed, or attacked. By choosing not to retaliate in the flesh, you protect your spirit from corruption. You keep your focus on growth rather than grudges, on destiny rather than drama. Your restraint is not a sign that you are weak. It is evidence that you trust in a higher justice. You understand that those who scheme in secret will eventually fall into their own traps, and you don't need to dirty your hands trying to speed up their downfall. By refusing to retaliate, you preserve your peace, and peace is one of the greatest victories you can ever hold. This path also teaches patience. Sometimes victory doesn't appear immediately. Enemies may seem loud for a season. Lies may circulate, and attacks may continue. But the psalm reminds you that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, not some weapons, not a few weapons, but none. The timing may not be yours, but the outcome is certain. By trusting in the power of truth to fight for you, you anchor yourself in assurance. You wait without fear because you know the end has already been written. Victory belongs to you. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of victory, without retaliation, is the testimony it creates. When people watch you remain steady in the face of attack, when they see you refuse to descend into the chaos of retaliation, your life becomes an example of strength and faith. Others may see the unfairness of your circumstances, but they will also see the undeniable triumph that follows. Your enemies may intend to shame you, but your peace and eventual victory will become the loudest answer. You don't need to fight in the flesh because results will speak louder than any defense you could have given. So hold your peace. Refuse to be pulled into unnecessary battles. Let the psalm be your shield and your sword. Let the words of truth fight on your behalf while you stay focused on your purpose. Retaliation may promise quick satisfaction, but it cannot compare to the lasting victory that comes when truth fights for you. Your dignity remains intact, your peace remains unshaken, and your victory becomes undeniable. This is the higher way: victory without retaliation, strength without struggle, triumph without compromise. There is a mystery in life that often reveals itself only after you have endured hardship. The very things designed to break you often become the reasons you stand stronger. Attacks, betrayals, setbacks, and schemes meant to destroy you. Within them, the potential to shape resilience and reveal faith that could not have been discovered in easier seasons. This psalm reminds you that what was meant for destruction will never have the final word. Instead, it transforms into the evidence of your strength, your endurance, and your trust in a power greater than yourself. Every attack has the possibility of becoming a testimony, a story that declares not only that you survived, but that you emerged refined, wiser, and unshaken. When you face an attack, the first instinct is often fear or despair. The mind asks questions like, why me? Why now? Why this? Enemies may seem too strong, words may cut too deep, and circumstances may appear designed to crush your hope. Yet, hidden in the pressure of these moments is an opportunity. Attacks force you to confront yourself, to discover what you believe, and to test the strength of your inner foundation. While they may be meant for harm, they become the stage upon which resilience is revealed. Without pressure, you may never discover the depth of your courage. Without opposition, you may never realize the true power of your endurance. Think of a diamond. It is nothing but carbon until it is placed under immense pressure. The same pressure that could destroy it is the very force that transforms it into something beautiful, valuable, and unbreakable. In the same way, the attacks you face are the pressure that reveals the diamond within you. What looked like it would destroy you actually brings out your brilliance, showing the world that you are not fragile but resilient, not defeated but refined. That transformation becomes your testimony, a living proof that you cannot be crushed by what was meant to harm you. Faith is never proven in comfort, it is proven in trial. Attacks become testimonies of faith because they expose whether you will collapse under the weight of fear or rise in the confidence of trust. Each time you choose to believe that you are covered, each time you choose peace over panic, each time you refuse to retaliate and instead hold to truth, you are demonstrating a faith that cannot be shaken. The attacks then lose their power to define you and instead serve as evidence of what sustains you. What others meant to shame you ends up becoming the very thing that showcases your faith to the world. The most powerful testimonies often come from the hardest battles. People are not inspired by stories of an easy journey. They are inspired by those who walked through fire and came out unburned, who endured storms and still stood tall, who faced weapons and yet remained unharmed. When your life carries such a story, you become a beacon for others who are struggling. Your testimony says, if I endured, so can you. If I overcame, you will too. The attack no longer belongs to the enemy. It belongs to you, transformed into a source of encouragement and strength for many. This psalm assures you that every attack has an expiration date. Weapons may be formed, but they will not prosper. Schemes may be set, but they will collapse. Enemies may rise, but they will stumble. And when the dust settles, what remains is not your defeat, but your testimony. The very thing that was designed to silence you becomes the reason your voice carries further. The struggle that seemed unbearable becomes the proof that you were never alone, and that resilience and faith are stronger than any force formed against you. So do not fear the attacks, for they cannot destroy what is divinely protected. Instead, let them refine you. Let them deepen your faith. Let them reveal your strength. In time, you will look back not with bitterness, but with gratitude, because you will see how every attempt to harm you became part of the story of your resilience. Attacks may come, but they will leave behind testimonies, living evidence that what was meant to destroy you became the proof of your unshakable faith and your unstoppable strength. The message of this psalm is unshakable. No attack has the power to write your ending. Hidden plots, secret weapons, and whispered lies may rise against you, but they cannot prosper. Peace surrounds you in the midst of shadows. Strength is renewed when you feel weary, and victory is secured without retaliation. What was meant to harm you will never define you. It will only reveal your resilience and prove your faith. Your life becomes the evidence that truth always triumphs over lies, that light always exposes darkness, and that protection is greater than any plot. Every battle faced is not just a struggle. It is a seed of testimony, a story of survival, and a declaration of victory. So walk forward with calm assurance. Rest without fear. Stand tall without retaliation. And let the world see through your life that every attack has been turned into proof of your strength. The psalm is your shield, your peace, your courage, and your voice, reminding you always that no weapon formed against you shall prosper,